All right, what's up, guys? So I wanted to jump on here just because I've had a couple things on my mind recently that I've seen and experienced with a lot of other businesses in general, whether it's in the real estate industry or other industries. And I kind of want to go into more depth about this and sort of what I've seen people have more success with and what other businesses I've also seen have failed with advertisements in general. Now, really, I'm going to go over kind of our eGen system and how we get specifically buyer and seller leads in through the door for the real estate agents that we partner with. But really, this is applicable to all businesses across all platforms, all industries, whatever. So no matter, I'll have a separate video kind of going over um, how to sort of or how to decide on what platform you want to advertise on, why that matters, how industries impact what platform you should go with and advertise with, and then in general, just kind of what would be best for your business to do. Now, the real estate industry is what I've been kind of attached to for the last few years, so I kind of know this. I guess you can kind of say this is my bread and butter when it comes to advertising. Now, I guess, like I said, in this video, I'm kind of going to go over the ins and outs of getting buyer and seller leads and sort of really the biggest thing that's going to separate you from being part of the industry standard. And the industry standard usually tends to be, let's just say, if we're talking from a dollar standpoint, it can be anywhere from $45 to on the higher end, $80 per lead, depending on if you're trying to get listings or if you're trying to, find people who are trying to buy homes. But if you're trying to be above the industry standard and you're trying to outcompete all of the people that you know and love in your industry, other agents, other investors, whoever it may be, then I would kind of listen up to this video just because I have had my fair share of I guess you could say ups and downs. So to get into this now, the eGen system, essentially, this is what we've learned and created over the last few years based on just metrics, data, and also a lot of trial and error from other businesses, our own business, and also all of our clients. So the first thing that I always want to touch on, and again, if you've seen the video on my website, I talk about this as well. But really, what I want to go over in specific is more detailed scenario of this, so you guys can actually go and apply it yourselves if you need to. Now, step one on the website, on the video on our website, I kind of just go over this briefly, but the biggest thing when it comes to advertising, and at least this is what I've seen and had success with, is having an irresistible offer. So what that means is the average agent, usually when they want to advertise, or in general, if they're just doing some sort of marketing, whether it be flyers or email marketing or whatever, like again, it can be countless things, even cold calling, whatever. The biggest thing that I see people struggle with is actually bringing in warm leads and bringing in people who are actually interested in wanting to hear you out, wanting to work with you, wanting to move forward with you. And the reason why an irresistible offer is so important for advertising is because it's going to basically separate you. This is the first part of separating yourself from all these other individuals that are in, let's just say in your industry to keep it simple. So the average agent, at least if we're going to stick with the real estate industry, the average agent usually, when it comes to advertising, will just say something along the lines of like, come work with me. I'm the best agent in your local area, or I am going to make sure I take care of you. But they don't actually specify what they can do for them. And usually, you know, a relationship when it's not somebody that you know is it's a beneficial like you need to be able to benefit them if you want to be able to receive the benefits from from them as your client. So now, how can you do that, right? What I've seen work very, very well in the past, and for a lot of agents as well as my clients, is when it comes to crafting an irresistible offer, the first thing you want to do is look at exactly what it is that your ideal target audience or your ideal clientele would want or what would need when it comes to either the home buying process or the home selling process. Now, on average, like I said before, the average agent will just go ahead and say, "Come work with me," whatever, whatever, yada yada yada. We all know that that is what comes to our mind when we think of advertising. Now, an irresistible offer, just I guess I'll give you guys an example of something. So you could take it one step further and do something as simple as, let's just say, a customized list of homes. That's what a lot of people are starting to dive into. Now, a customized list of homes does take this a step further because what it'll do for you and for attracting your clientele is it gives them something tangible and something it's a lead magnet that they can actually grasp onto and potentially benefit off of, depending on how much emphasis and effort you put into that lead magnet. So what I mean by this is, if you're trying to give somebody a customized list of homes, you don't want to go out of your, I guess you don't essentially want to just half-ass it, essentially, is, I guess, for lack of better words. You want to give them something that they can actually benefit off of, because if you just give them what, a lot of people, in this case, the first thing that comes to my mind is what Alex Hormozy calls sucky fluff. And if you give somebody sucky fluff, it just does the exact opposite of what they are opting in for. And, it almost diminishes or deteriorates you and your image. So when you're giving somebody a lead magnet, you want to make sure that's actually beneficial for them. If you're going to be giving them a customized list of homes, which I recommend going a step further on this, but if, let's just say, if you're giving somebody a customized list of homes, make sure that that customized list of homes meets all of their criteria. Make sure that if they're looking for a big backyard, if they're looking for a big basement, a 3-car garage, a 3-bathroom, 4-bedroom, whatever it may be, make sure that those homes that you're sending them early on actually meet all of that criteria. Because if you're just sending them a generalized, and maybe it's off market properties as well, because that is super beneficial for a lot of individuals, because obviously they don't have eyes on those properties. So when you're doing this, one, make sure that the properties are obviously beneficial. They're actually something that they are looking for. And two, make sure that when you do send this to them, you try and set up a meeting. Take it a step further. Try and meet with them. Try and grab coffee with them. Try and take this to the point where you're progressing the sale forward. And this kind of takes me to a different subject, where try to progress the sale forward in a sense where a lot of individuals are usually afraid to make that step. A lot of individuals don't know exactly what the home buying process entails, what the home selling, if they're trying to sell their home, what that entails, and also they need guidance. So the biggest thing that I see agents struggle with is providing guidance to these people, in a sense where you need to be their person that they can look to. You need to, it's all about them, right? So make it all about them, provide them what they need, and then also make sure you progress that sale forward by telling them, okay, this is what we're going to do from here. We're going to go ahead and grab coffee. I have this customized list of homes that I want to present to you. In some cases, you can email it to them, but that, you deal with the struggle of them ghosting you and whatnot. That's a whole different story, which I'll go into in a separate video. But point one, or step one, is have that irresistible offer actually be meaningful, and have that irresistible offer actually be something tangible that they can benefit from. That's going to separate you from 90% of other agents, and that clientele or your ideal target audience is now going to want to move forward and work with you, because you have benefited them first, and now you get to reap the benefits on the back end when they decide to move forward with you. Now from there, this is something that we do, and this is something that anybody can do in general, is you want to take a look at all of your competition, and you want to do a full market analysis of that area. So let's just say, for example, I'm in Chicago, right? Excuse me. I'm in Chicago. I work with one agent here in specific that comes to mind, who just does basically high luxury rentals. And when you're doing high luxury rentals, there is a lot of agents in Chicago who want to do high luxury rentals and basically thrive off of that niche market. And the reason why is because rentals in Chicago, especially, specifically in the downtown area, are very, very expensive. You can get a 1-bedroom for $3,000 a month, and that can, depending on the brokerage that you're with, that can pay you $3,000 for signing one client, right? You can get paid 100% of the first month's rent. In general, when you're advertising, though, you want to do a full market analysis. You want to do some research on what other competitors, what other agents are doing, or, in general, this applies to all business. Take a look at what other ads are being ran. You can go to the Facebook library and actually go in and take a look at other people's advertisements. So if I actually go to Facebook library, I can go ahead and see all of the advertisements that have been ran in specific areas. Let's say you can specify down to the country, the ad category. Obviously, in this case, it would be housing, and then you can do keywords. So if you do like rental, just search rental, right? We'll take a look to see what all of the rental advertisements are in the United States. And this is a great way for you to just be able to sort of see what's working, see what isn't working. And a good key indicator for this is taking a look to see when that advertisement was launched. So, for example, we see this ad was launched August 22nd, about a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Today's Labor Day. And I can go ahead and see this advertisement was launched from the same business on August 1st. So clearly, this advertisement has been running longer. That's a key indicator that this advertisement is doing better. Now, what does this tell me? This essentially tells me that I can go and create a similar, the exact ad. We don't want to copy by any means, but we want to use this as a reference point. This is something that we can reference off of and say, okay, why is this advertisement performing better on average than this advertisement, right? What is it they're doing? Now, the first thing I see obviously is a video ad. This is a static ad, and the copy is very similar, or in this case, the copy is actually a little bit different, but in general, they're kind of pointing towards the same thing. Now, this one has a call to action. This one does not have a call to action. You can actually go in and see more details on the ad if you need to. But in general, the whole point of this is that it gives you your best foot forward when it comes to launching an advertisement. And also, it can also show you where there's some loopholes in the market. If you have certain ideas about what ideal target audience you have or what kind of advertisements you might want to run in the back of your mind, you can actually go ahead and test those and then also see, are people running something like this already similar, or are people already having success with this? If they're not, you can take it two routes, right? You can say, okay, I might be the first person to tap into something like this. It's a loophole. I might be able to go into a different platform and see if there's some untapped potential here. Or you could take it the separate route or the second route, which is, okay, I see what's working. I go into, let's just say, for example, if we're talking about Meta, I can go ahead and see what advertisements are already being ran, which ones on average are going to be more successful than others. And this is just one key indicator, seeing when it started running. There's a whole bunch of other things you can look into, but you get the idea of that. That's going to be just a way so you can actually ensure your success. And now, after you actually have that irresistible offer, you've done your market research, you know sort of what you can do with your best foot forward. You want to go ahead and launch your ad on that platform or on the other platforms, whatever it may be. And I mean, the whole point of this is so that you can bring in leads, right? Bring in warm leads. I'm going to make a separate video talking about the funnel process and what exactly this all entails and how you can kind of actually push those leads down a funnel where they go from either cold or warm leads into warmer and hotter, and eventually a booked appointment, an in-person appointment, and ultimately getting down to the close, right? Now, um, the biggest thing that I've noticed with getting, let's just say, buyer leads is when you have that irresistible offer, you're actually able to provide that lead magnet. You've done your market research, you see what competitors are doing. The next thing to do is speed to lead, essentially. So, um, speed to lead is pretty much the name of the game with real estate. And honestly, I would say probably most businesses. I've seen a lot of my other business friends who have had a lot of success in their industries with speed to lead. And I've basically split tested over the years what kind of speed to lead is the most successful. And what I found that is usually it takes about 10 touch points to actually have some success with that lead. So if you're not getting in contact with that lead in the first day or two, maybe you're calling them twice a day or three times a day, or taking a step further, calling them four times a day, morning, lunch, dinner, and some other time, then, don't feel discouraged, because you actually want to take it a step further and, kind of look at the averages, right? Some people see success within the second or third call and get a hold of that individual and move forward with them. Other people see success, sometimes further down the line. It might take 2 weeks of consistent contacting to actually get them on you know, on the call, on the phone, whatever it may be. Now, the whole point of all this is so we can essentially 3x your business, right? In any sense, advertising is a great way to 2, 3, and sometimes 4x your business. Um, and this is kind of the main reason why it does that. So if you sort of follow these steps, 1, 2, and 3, what it's going to essentially do for you is, one, the biggest thing out of all these is it's going to help you sort of become the go-to agent or the go-to business guru in that industry, in your industry, to sort of separate yourself from others, and obviously in general give you more business, give you more clientele, and kind of just really know how to separate yourselves so that way you can see success with your business. That's really the main thing about, and that's the whole point of this video, is what you can do to just get better quality leads and in general, attract your dream clientele. That's what we all want to do. That's what the goal is. So If hopefully this video was helpful for you guys. I'm going to be launching a couple other videos here soon on other things that I've seen people have struggles with, people that I've seen have success with, and why they've had success. And this was just one thing that I wanted to get out on, basically how you can sort of 3x your business and you know, separate yourself from other competitors. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.